First off, I want to thank the brave men and women who work behind the wall. I want to thank them on a national level because their job goes unrecognized.
How do they try to turn a guard?
Well, correctional officer. Sorry, I apologize. But correctional officer. How you guys doing today? It's Anthony Ganji, host of Tier Talk. Great video coming your way from Russ Hamilton. He's going to give us a quick breakdown of the recent riot, technically I would call it a riot, that happened at Souza Baranowski facility out in Massachusetts. Russ, thank you for taking the time and doing this. These are some brave individuals that work inside that correctional facility. And I think it's time that people see the dangers that these officers run into. All right, guys, now if you haven't, the show Tier Talks for you, you brave men and women that work in corrections, so please subscribe, interact, engage, comment, hit that bell. That bell's gonna notify you every time I post a video. We're gonna go to our sponsor, and when we come back, I'm giving the show over to Russ.
I wanted to attend a university that had an intelligence program. I wanted to look at problems different. I wanted to increase my critical thinking abilities. AMU offered those avenues to expand. Obtaining your degree as an adult, you're actually paying yourself and investing in yourself. You can't put a dollar on it, it's priceless. It's something that can never be taken away from you.
American Military University. Learn from the leader.
Hey there, Tier Talk fans. Russ Hamilton here from Keepers of Chaos. So we've got a quick little video that we're going to take a look at in just a minute here. And this comes to us from the Souza Baranowski Correctional Center in Massachusetts. And basically, this is one of those things that's becoming all too common recently. And that's where we have a group of inmates attacking staff. And, this is the kind of thing that we've seen a lot in the past, but just becoming more and more prevalent, or at least it seems to me. In this little flick, you're going to see staff does a good job of protecting themselves and waiting till the cavalry can come in and arrive. So anyway, I'm going to narrate it as it goes along so you can be sure to focus on the areas where things are happening at and see it a little bit better as it occurs. And then at the end of all of that, I'm going to come back and going to talk about a couple of concerns that I see within that particular little video. So stay tuned. All right, so take a look in the lower right corner. You'll see an officer talking to this inmate. And then all of a sudden, it goes completely bad. You'll see the inmate just suddenly attack him, and it's pretty intense. Now, coming down the middle, you're going to see his buddy trying to get to him. He's going to overshoot and fall down. But he gets up, stays in the fight, and now he's taken on 3 or 4 guys, but he gets to his buddy where they can be together. Then more response comes down in front of the tier area there. So now they're clustered together, and they're trying to protect each other. And, doing as good a job as they can considering what the odds there. The odds are, completely stacked against them. You can see that the cameraman follows them a little bit, so it's hard to see if any other response is getting in there. So they managed to stay clustered together during this little bit of time. And then in just a second here, you're going to see some more response start to fill the line. But now these inmates are moving away. And now you'll see, I don't know why the officers are moving in that direction, if they're just egressing or if they're going after some of their attackers. But now you'll see the line start to be flooded, and we've got real response coming in. So anyways, you can see by that video, I mean, this is a hair-raising experience. This is not the kind of thing that you ever want to have happen to you. We've all been around this. I've been involved in a couple of them that were similar to this, probably not quite as intense as this one. But the thing that jumped out to me, I'm not sure at what point where they were hearing an alarm or a code go off, but there was, quite a number of uninvolved inmates there. And this comes down to what I see is possibly a problem with their procedure. I can't say for sure because the video is a little bit thin and the circumstances are. But those inmates are just milling about like it's just expected that they're just going to go on during an alarm and do their own thing. Those inmates, in my opinion, and what their policy would hopefully state, is that they're to get down on the ground and stay there until it's cleared. I can't begin to tell you the number of times where that has saved the day, because if those inmates aren't down, what are they? They're involved. And when they're involved, then you can charge them with a whole host of things, everything from possibly being involved in a riot to, unlawful congregation. So that's the first thing. The second thing was really something that I didn't see. I didn't see any batons come out. I didn't see any pepper spray being used. If it's their policy that isn't a grave enough of a situation to use that, what is? If they don't have that stuff, that's even worse. Going in and having to deal with everything just naked, no vest, no OC, no baton. Shame on a department that isn't giving their people the proper stuff. Now, I don't know for sure because I don't know that department, but that's just what I see from this. But you know what? Kudos to those guys, getting in there and staying the course. And you saw how they all managed to get in a little clump there so that, little phalanx, so that they could, reach out there and pull their own back if one of them got knocked down, and to try and, be able to kind of take the brunt of it for each other, so that they weren't in there fighting alone and taking the worst of it. And I did hear that some injuries did occur, that a couple of them were hospitalized and one had to have surgery. I don't know that for certain. That's just what I was told. But nonetheless, they did a good job of making it not as bad as it could have been. So anyway, hats off, the brave men and women that are in this profession. I don't think that enough good can be said because of the things like that we face all the time. And the things that up to now have really just been kind of silent because the media doesn't see that. Now we're starting to, get some of these videos released, and maybe starting for some people, for the public, to start understanding what it is that we go through. And maybe through that, we'll be able to address some things like, lack of equipment, lack of status, not having that peace officer status, because not every department has it. I had it. I was lucky in the nearly 30 years that I was in the business, and the extra training that we need. When those guys came down and they started flooding as their response, I didn't see anyone coming down with what I perceived to be any extra equipment. I didn't see any, 40 millimeter, guns coming down to be able to, start hitting them with the knee knockers or anything like that. So I don't know what they've got. I don't know what their response policy is, but I think that that's something that could, or rather should, be addressed by that department. Anyway, if someone out there knows more about what this department, that facility has, and would like to comment on this, please do down below. I'd love to see more and be able to pick it apart more, because the more after action reviews that people see and hear about, maybe the better off their department will be for being able to, think ahead and see what might be happening to officers out there on the line. Anyway, this is Russ Hamilton from Keepers of Chaos, talking to all of you Tier Talk fans out there. Everyone, stay safe.
Whoa.